Hello and welcome to YNWA Transfer News, your ultimate source for all Liverpool FC transfer news. Our first news is this. Florian Wirtz given new Liverpool. Warning as agreement reached on record transfer. Jurgen Klinsmann has warned Florian Wirtz he will need to fight for his place at Liverpool after his tricky start to life at Anfield. The German international has come under a lot of scrutiny, following what was a record-breaking move from Bayer Leverkusen during the summer. Wirtz has just one assist from his 10 appearances for the Reds so far, having not added any goal contributions since the Community Shield in August. His form has led to some criticism from the likes of Gary Neville, and despite the hefty price Liverpool paid to sign him, Arne Slot has come under increasing pressure to drop Wirtz in recent games. The 22-year-old will hope to rediscover some form during the international break, with Germany facing Luxembourg and Northern Ireland in World Cup qualifiers. Over the next few days, Wirtz has been spotted putting in extra work during training sessions with his country as he tries to return to the sort of levels that earned him his move to Anfield in the first place. Having been supported by a number of German legends in recent days, Klinsmann is the latest to throw his weight behind the forward, although he did offer a warning to Wirtz about the challenge he faces at Liverpool. Florian needs time to find his feet in the northwest of England, Klinsmann told Sports Illustrated. Liverpool in particular, that's a lot for a young lad. And then he's coming into a team made up entirely of superstars. He'll have to fight his way through it step by step, and that's what he will. He's a fighter. Klinsmann's comments come after fellow German legends Bastian Schweinsteiger and Philipp Lahm supported Wirtz and insisted he will eventually find his feet at Liverpool. "We have to give the players a bit of time," Schweinsteiger said, via RTL. "Especially when you move from the Bundesliga to the Premier League, you also have to adjust a bit. I've experienced that myself. He will delight us all in the future. Florian Wirtz is a fantastic footballer, a great character. We should be happy that we have such a player in Germany." Lahm added, "I'm not worried about Florian Wirtz at all because he's such an outstanding, brilliant player who simply makes his teammates better. Quality and class always prevail, and that will absolutely be the case with Florian Wirtz." Liverpool to launch offensive for Dream. Mohamed Salah successor. Liverpool are reportedly ready to launch an offensive for the transfer of Bayern Munich winger Michael Olise as a replacement for Mohamed Salah. It's not been the best start to the season for Salah, who was unplayable for so much of the previous campaign as he helped Liverpool win the Premier League title. The Egypt international is not getting any younger, and it might be that we're now seeing him past the peak of his powers. According to Fichajes, it seems Liverpool are planning for life after Salah by targeting Bayern and France star Olise, who has been a big hit at the Allianz Arena after also previously impressing in the Premier League with Crystal Palace. Can Michael Olise replace Mohamed Salah? Salah is a Liverpool legend, and there's arguably no one who could ever truly replace the years of world-class service he's brought to the club. Still, Olise is another hugely exciting talent with a similar style of play, cutting in from that right-hand side onto his left foot to both score and set up goals. The Frenchman looked like an exciting young talent during his Palace days, and he's only got better and better since joining Bayern, so it would be intriguing to see him back in English football. Liverpool's attack struggling to gel this season. Salah hasn't quite looked himself at the start of this season, and that follows a lot of changes to Arne Slot's squad. LFC spent big during the summer, bringing in new attacking signings like Alexander Isak, Florian Wirtz, and Hugo Ekitike. While Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz left the club, Salah seems to have been affected. So it remains to be seen if even more changes would really help improve the situation. Olise, though, is clearly a top player, and one imagines Bayern might struggle to keep hold of him in years to come. Guehi's situation at Crystal Palace. Mark Guehi's name has been circulating around Merseyside for months, with Liverpool long viewing the Crystal Palace captain as an ideal defensive addition. The Reds came close to securing his signature on the final day of the summer transfer window, having agreed both personal terms and a transfer fee with Palace. However, The move collapsed when the South London club failed to secure a suitable replacement before the deadline. Despite the disappointment, Guehi has continued to excel under Oliver Glasner, maintaining his status as one of the Premier League's most consistent defenders. Reports suggest the 24-year-old has no intention of signing a new deal at Selhurst Park. His current contract expires in 2026, and while Palace remain hopeful of changing his mind, sources close to the player indicate a free transfer is the most likely outcome next summer. Romano confirms intense transfer battle. Speaking on his YouTube channel, Fabrizio Romano has shed light on Guehi's growing list of admirers. According to the Italian journalist, top European clubs including Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, and Barcelona have already made initial contact with the player's representatives. At the end of the season, Marc Guehi will leave on a free transfer, Romano explained. That decision is final, and several major clubs are preparing to move. Liverpool are one of the teams in discussions, but they are not alone. Bayern, Spanish sides, and even top Italian clubs are all involved. Romano emphasized that financial factors will play a key role, with lucrative signing-on fees and salary packages expected to determine Guehi's final decision. While Liverpool remain firmly in contention, their approach will need to be competitive to stand a realistic chance of landing the England international, Liverpool's missed opportunity. Liverpool's inability to finalize the deal last summer may prove costly. All indications point to Guehi being keen on the move, even reportedly recording a farewell message to Palace fans before the transfer fell apart. The blame, though, did not lie with the Anfield hierarchy. Palace's late collapse in their pursuit of Brighton defender Igor Julio forced them to withdraw from the agreement, leaving Guehi in limbo. Glasner, reportedly frustrated with the club's recruitment struggles, was adamant that his captain would not be sold without a replacement, a stance that ultimately delayed the player's inevitable departure. What comes next for Liverpool? Liverpool's interest in strengthening their backline remains unchanged. With uncertainty surrounding the long-term future of key defensive figures, Guehi continues to be viewed as a leading target. Yet with elite clubs now circling, securing his services has become far more complex. Should Liverpool miss out again, they are expected to explore alternative defensive reinforcements ahead of the 2026 season. For now, Guehi's immediate focus remains on leading Crystal Palace through another Premier League campaign, but the defender's future increasingly appears destined to lie elsewhere. Florian Wirtz' strong message sent as Liverpool told 116-meter man needs time among superstars, Germany legend. Jurgen Klinsmann has backed fighter Florian Wirtz to fulfill his potential at Liverpool. But the former Tottenham Hotspur striker has admitted the adaptation period has been tough for the attacking midfielder. Wirtz joined the Reds for what was a club record fee worth up to 116 meters in June from Bayer Leverkusen. But he has so far struggled to showcase the sort of form that saw him widely regarded as one of the finest young talents on the continent prior to his transfer to Anfield. The German international has yet to supply an assist or score a goal in the Premier League, but Klinsmann has no doubt the Reds' number 7 will eventually prove his worth on Merseyside. Florian needs his time to find his way around the northwest of England. Klinsmann told Sports Illustrated, Liverpool in particular. That's a lot for a young guy. And then he comes into a team that consists only of superstars. He has to fight his way through step by step, and he will. He is a fighter. Wirtz is expected to feature on Friday night when Germany entertain Luxembourg in a World Cup qualifier. He will then face Reds teammate Connor Bradley when Julian Nagelsmann's side face Northern Ireland on Monday. Klinsmann is not the only German football great to leap to the defense of Wirtz in recent days. Germany national team director Rudi Völler, who won the 1990 World Cup alongside strike partner Klinsmann, said, "The big difference is, at Bayer Leverkusen, despite the individual quality of the other players, he was always looked for. Players like Granit Xhaka, Alejandro Grimaldo, or Robert Andrich certainly ran the game. But the moment Florian made himself available, he always got the ball. Even as a young guy, he was already the chief. I deliberately watched some Liverpool games with him. He does an incredible amount of work, runs a lot, makes many sprints, and also goes deep. But he isn't played to in the way he was used to at Leverkusen or with the national team. That's something that has to be developed over weeks and months. I know that he's not one of those divas in his position who stand around with their heads down if they're not passed 2-3 times. Florian isn't like that. He's not only an extraordinary footballer, he also has a great character. He will give everything from the first to the last minute, always push forward. He also has incredible running stats. He will assert himself. 2 more Germany World Cup winners, Bastian Schweinsteiger and Philipp Lahm, have also offered their backing to Wirtz. Schweinsteiger said, "We have to give the players a bit of time. Especially when you move from the Bundesliga to the Premier League, you also have to adjust a bit. I've experienced that myself. He will delight us all in the future. Florian Wirtz is a fantastic footballer, a great character. We should be happy that we have such a player in Germany." And Lahm said, "I'm not worried about Florian Wirtz at all because he's such an outstanding, brilliant player who simply makes his teammates better. Quality and class always prevail, and that will absolutely be the case with Florian Wirtz." Liverpool show keen interest in favorite of Man Ut boss Amorim. He's seen as the dream Konate replacement. Liverpool are reported to have identified Sporting CP defender Ousmane Diomande as their #1 replacement. For Ibrahima Konate, if the Frenchman departs next summer, and a look at the stats of the player Ruben Amorim loves shows that the Reds could be signing a monster. The France defender's contract at Anfield expires in summer 2026, and efforts to tie him down to a new deal have so far failed to bear fruit. And while claims and counterclaims have been made over Konate's Liverpool future, the Reds will have all too fresh in their minds of the similar saga that played out with Trent Alexander-Arnold. Indeed, with Real Madrid also on Konate's trail, and this week reported to have launched Operation Konate, aimed at persuading him to move to the Bernabeu, Liverpool have, quite rightly, been scouring the market to ensure they are not caught on the hop, and while Marc Guehi remains a top target for the club, reports in Spain claim they have now identified 21-year-old Sporting centre-half Diomande as an additional target, potentially alongside him during the 2026 windows. According to Fichajes, Liverpool want to sign Diomande as soon as the January window. Having identified the player as their principal target to replace Konate, labeling the 21-year-old as a key target for Arne Slot, it's reported that Anfield Chiefs see the Ivory Coast international as a long-term solution thanks to his technique, physical ability, and quick adaptation to the pace of Europe's elite. Diomande previously thrived under the management of Ruben Amorim, with the now Manchester United boss hailing him as a very talented player who is very physically strong and can play with both feet. While they don't put a price on what a deal will cost, we have previously reported that it would take an offer of around 60 52 69 millimeters to persuade them to cash in on a player whose release clause is currently set at a whopping 80 meters, 69.5, 92.8 pwe. And competition is understandably also tough. Crystal Palace looked at Diomande as a summer replacement for Guehi, were he to leave, while Chelsea are also reported to be on the player's trail. Monster Diomande would be an elite signing for Liverpool, while Fichajes is not the most reliable of sources, and are infamous for far-fetched transfer speculation. There could be some legs in the Diomande to Liverpool claims, while our sources have previously noted Chelsea's long-standing interest in acquiring the 8 times capped Ivory defender. It's also worth noting that Diomande, given his age and rising talent, is exactly the sort of player FSG and Michael Edwards have loved signing in the past, those of serious quality but not yet at a world-class standard. Furthermore, former Team Talk features writer Ben Madison, who now works at Serie A side Como as a first-team scout, has given Diomande a glowing reference in the past, describing the player on X as having the ability to become a monster in no time, and with his signing being as big of a no-brainer as you can get. His qualities are also apparent for all to see, and his qualities on the ball have also been noted by FBref, who rank him in the top 2% of positional peers in Europe. Over the past year, for pass completion rate, which stands at 93.2%, the top 7% for passes per 90 minutes, 70.78%, and the top 15% for shot-creating actions per game, 1.24. Exactly what Slot would want to see from a ball-playing center half. Latest Liverpool news. Reds join hunt for red-hot Prem star. Guehi action plan. On the subject of Guehi, Liverpool are refusing to give up on trying to secure the signing of the Palace captain in 2026 and are ready to bring forward their plans to seal a deal in a bid to ward off concrete interest from Bayern Munich, and with a former Crystal Palace manager now naming the club, he expects the England defender to join. If Liverpool are to return to their very best, they will need Mo Salah to return to form after a few low-key appearances lately. On that note, we've taken a deep dive into the Egyptian struggles at Anfield in recent weeks, naming 8 reasons behind his poor form under Slot right now. We've also asked if a 2026 sale could indeed be on the cards. And finally, the Reds have their gaze firmly set on signing a 75-meter-rated Premier League star, second only to Erling Haaland right now, and with Richard Hughes offering the Premier League champions a significant transfer advantage over their rivals. Thank you for watching. Like and comment, subscribe.